Hi there, I'm Ashley Sirokis, and today we are covering the ultimate guide to finding new paying clients and customers in your health business on autopilot. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ashley Sirokis. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist, doTERRA Diamond Essential Oil educator, and a branding and website expert specifically supporting wellness entrepreneurs and health business owners. I'm known for being super transparent, super strategic, and I love to teach systems with soul to help free up your time and your jam-packed schedule so that you can get back to your zone of genius and all of the things that you really love doing in your business. If you see me looking away from the camera, it's because today I am referencing an epic blog post that I just wrote. There's going to be a link in the caption, and I wrote a blog post and am recording this video in case you want to watch both or you learn in different ways. But today, like I said, we're specifically covering the ultimate guide, my ultimate guide, the steps that I take to find new paying customers in my business on autopilot. This applies to you whether you're a holistic nutritionist, a health coach, online, offline, network marketing. It doesn't matter. I have used these steps to find customers for all sides of my business, in person and online. So I want you to sit with this for a minute. So imagine that you wake up in the morning and you check your inbox. Hopefully it's not right away. Hopefully you have like your miracle morning or, time to yourself to get yourself in that right headspace. But when you check your email for the first time, imagine what it would feel like to have an email that says, X person sent you money or you made a sale. Sit with that for a minute. What would that feel like? For me, it is still the best feeling in the world that I can be, and I've been in the last few months out shopping for a new printer, and I go to checkout and I'm just standing in line, I check my email and it says, you've received X number of dollars from the sale of your course. Or you just had someone enroll in doTERRA in my doTERRA business, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I still get so stoked. So firstly, I need to clarify that when I say finding new customers, new paying customers on autopilot, what I mean is that you have to have systems in place for someone to go from being a passive fan or maybe a brand new visitor to your social media or your website to a person that actually pays you money without you actively giving any one-on-one time with them. So it doesn't mean, when I say on autopilot, it doesn't mean that you do nothing to show up in your business effort and that you don't market yourself and that magically money will just show up. No, what this means is that instead of marketing one-on-one, maybe you're used to in-person marketing or marketing that's very intensive and very time intensive for you to convert someone from not knowing about you to becoming a paying client. What I want to do is to help you be able to market to actually reaching a larger audience and growing your audience at the same time as finding paying customers. So mainly we're going to be doing this on social media. So what this means is that instead of spending all this time and money focusing on just one person at a time, you are spending the same amount of time, hopefully way less money, reaching hundreds, if not thousands of people at the same time that you would have spent trying to find one customer. That is what I mean find paying customers on autopilot. There will still be times when you need to get on the phone, that you need to have a follow-up, that you need to touch base with that potential customer, but hopefully that's less and less time and people are just automatically going through that sales process themselves. So without further ado, let's hop into this. Now, a prerequisite to this whole strategy is that you need to have a website with a blog. This entire strategy focuses on having one home or marketing hub for us to then push all of this amazing content out, and also a place for this system to be housed, to be home, so someone can go through this system of finding you on social media, clicking over to your website, seeing amazing resources, and then getting into what we're going to call a funnel, but I don't really like calling it that, but just a way for them to realize that you actually have paid solutions. So your website is going to be the place where you have control over the content, you can control the flow of a person, of what they experience and the experience that they're going to have when they're going from, I don't really know who this person is, to, oh my God, let me get my credit card out of my wallet. That's a big jump for a lot of people, and I'm going to teach you exactly how. So social media is going to be like going to the sexy bar or the networking event. It's where you're going to find these potential new customers. But when you actually want to convert them to being paying customers, you want to bring them home to your website so that you can develop a real relationship with them, because people invest in other people who they have relationships with. So let's get into the actual steps now that we have the prerequisites. Step number 1 is for you to figure out who exactly are you helping. So if you already have a target audience, you know exactly who you're helping. And I don't just mean women. I mean, let's say I have an example in the blog post that, again, I've linked up in the caption of, I'm saying women supporting busy moms to overcome anxiety. You know exactly who you're helping. You're not trying to help someone with colitis. You're not trying to help someone with, their athletic performance. You are trying to support busy moms with anxiety. That's it. We're not helping all the people. So if you, in the blog post that I linked up to, if you don't know who you actually want to help, then I have a link to another blog post on my website helping you to narrow down who it is that you want to help. So you need to have a group of people that you want to help where you intimately know their problems and their pain points that they experience on a daily basis. Because when we look at the problems that we're going to need to address and that we're going to have this whole strategy around, they need to be very specific. This is why we need to have one specific group of people that you're helping, not all the people. Just eat more green vegetables, okay? Don't skip this step. You need to get really detailed. The more effort that you put into the description of who your ideal client is and what problems they are actually experiencing. So I want you to sit down and come up with, let's say, minimum 20 problems that they experience on a daily basis. And I don't just mean this person has anxiety. I mean me as someone with anxiety. I mean that I am yelling at my husband and my son more because I am feeling more anxious. Nothing to do with them. I'm not getting a good night's sleep because my brain won't stop working. I am feeling really overwhelmed with dinner, and so I just go and get fast food because that seems easier. These are actually those problems and the things that that person is experiencing on a daily basis. You need to write them down. If you don't know what your ideal client is experiencing, again, in the link in this caption, there's a link to a blog post that has 3 questionnaires that you can actually have people reply to, and they will tell you exactly what they're experiencing in their own words, and you're going to use that as the starting point. Step number 2, you have to have something to sell. It's going to be pretty hard to make money if you have nothing to exchange money for. Okay, so even though a lot of us skip over this step where people are like, I'm not making any sales, do you actually have something to sell? Is it very clear that you have something to sell? Is it written anywhere on your website? This is why we want to have the website as a marketing hub. So if you don't have a product or a service or a one-on-one program online, doesn't matter what it is, but you do need to have something to sell. And ideally, you do have a sales page or something on your website that explains what it is, how much it is, and how they can pay for it. Okay, that's step 2. Step number 3, and this is where we're getting into this website strategy and this blog strategy, is to choose content categories. So since you're a great student and you're clicking to the blog post in the caption and you're doing steps 1 and 2 first, remember, you can't skip those steps. Now what we need to do, that we have these pain points of this customers, the problems that they're dealing with on a daily basis, what we need to do is we're going to categorize it into 3 to 5 categories. So we're going to get even more intentional about the content that we are going to create going forward. It's not just about creating content, it's about creating quality content that is actually going to work for you when you're not physically there. So let's continue the example of the busy moms with anxiety that we've been talking about. So let's say that your paid solution is a 6-month program and you walk her through various changes in her lifestyle and different things that you're going to teach her. But what you mainly focus on is diet changes. And it could be vegan, it could be paleo, it could be fermented foods, could be gluten-free. Doesn't matter what it is, but you walk her through diet changes, healing the gut, especially how it's related to the diet above. Meditation, yoga, and awareness is 3. 4, you use essential oils. And 5, you teach her self-love and boundaries. So looking at the example of the pain points that you may have written out, we're going to look at your paid program and the client's pain points and figure out where are those 3 to 5 categories. Is it sleep? Is it specific diet changes? Is it yoga? Is it meditation? Is it essential oils? What are the 5 categories of larger categories of things that you cover? That is what we are going to create going forward for all of your content, whether it's on your blog, whether it's on social media, anywhere else, whatever format it is. Your content should fall into those 5 categories. So I really hope I hope that makes you feel lighter when it comes to creating content. Sometimes the hardest part is coming up with, what do you create? What do you write about? What are you going to talk about on social media? So if you have some categories to kind of break things into, it makes it a lot easier knowing that you don't have to talk about everything, just those 5 things. And I guarantee if you're an expert on it, there are hundreds of things that you could talk about within those categories. Step 4 is top 3 questions. For those 3 to 5 categories that you just laid out, what are the top 3 questions that you get over and over again, or that you see being asked over and over again for those 3 categories? So when it comes to sleep, let's say one of your things that you help with is sleep and you focus on is sleep quality. Maybe you're getting the questions of, what time should I go to sleep? How long should I be sleeping? And how do I wake up feeling rested? Those are the top 3 questions that you get. And again, there's a link from the blog post in my caption to another blog post with free questionnaires that you can send people. If you don't know what your ideal client wants to know about a specific subject, ask them. It's actually not that hard. They will tell you. Put up a post on social media, on your personal Facebook wall. Hey guys, I'm looking for busy moms that have anxiety, that have problems with sleep. What are your top questions about sleep? They will answer them below, because believe me, there are some people that are busy moms with anxiety in your network, and I know that you have that. So what you want to do with these 3 questions is we're going to use those 3 questions to start to write step number 5 is to write a blog post on the 3 top questions that you get asked in each of your categories. So if you have 3 categories and you're writing about 3 questions, that's 9 blog posts. If you have 5 categories with 3 questions each, that's 15 blog posts. If you're writing a blog post every other week, that's anywhere between like 4 to 6 months of content right there. You don't even have to think about it. Just write them down, get working on your blog posts. So you're going to write blog posts. And why we do this is because blogs are scalable, they are very shareable, and they are very optimized for search engines. So what this is going to do is, instead of you overwhelming potential paying customers with all the things that you know, we need to speak their language. So when you have one blog post on one really common question, and if one person has the question, 10 other people have the same question, what you're doing is you are capturing their attention when a person might randomly come across a new social media post or be searching that particular problem on Google, and your article comes up and it is their exact question, and they click through and they're going to see that you have answered whatever that question is with great detail. You are obviously an expert. That person is going to pay attention to you because they're going to go, oh my God, I have that problem, and this girl, I'm generalizing here, it could be a guy, this girl seems like she could fix it. So you're going to write an amazing headline. A headline is what they're going to see first, and that could be the actual question. The first few words, the branding is what they're going to see on your website. This is why you do need to have the website with great branding and everything in place right away, but that's a whole other conversation. So you don't need to write all these blog posts at once. Like I said, you can make a content calendar and spread creating that content out over the next 6 months. The biggest thing that I had when I sent a questionnaire to my ideal clients and customers was about blogging was, I don't know how to come up with the content. I don't know where to start. That's what we do. We pick the 3 to 5 categories. We gather the 3 top questions in each of those categories, and then you plan a blog post for each of the questions. Spread it out if you want to, but if you're the type of person that wants to batch all their content creation and then drip it out to your email list, social media, etc., over a longer period of time, go ahead and do that. Do what feels good to you. So after we have blog posts and we have this amazing content answering questions that your ideal target customers have, the questions that they have, and the specific problems that they're dealing with. Step number 6 is what's called content upgrades. If you don't know what a content upgrade is, it is a bonus download that is smaller than what might be a big lead magnet. So it's not like a 21-day meal plan. It's not a 30-day challenge. It might be a 3-day meal plan or a few extra recipes or a training video on how you use a certain piece of software to track something. It could be like you can make anything a content upgrade. What a content upgrade is you look at a blog post, for example, and if it's going to teach them 3 ways to get a better sleep at night, the blog post obviously goes into detail about that, but then there's a content upgrade with maybe a 10-minute video training of you showing them your bedroom and all the tools you have in your bedroom set up so that you get a great night's sleep. Or you have your top 5 favorite essential oils that you use to get a good night's sleep that were not mentioned in the blog post. That would be an example of a content upgrade. So content upgrade is mentioned right in the blog post, and there is an opt-in box for them to give their name and email directly right in that blog post. Because you've solved a problem and you've shown that you're an expert, they're more likely to give you their email address. Because what we're going to do is we are going to turn them into paying customers once they give you their email. So now what we're going to do is when someone gives you their email, as you have these amazing blog posts, this amazing content, your entire website is designed for this specific person and the problems that they're having, they're going to be like, oh my God, yes, I need to learn more. So when they opt into your email list with one of these amazing bonuses that you have sprinkled throughout your blog posts, and it doesn't have to be every blog post, by the way, it can be your top performing ones, or you start with your top 3 that seem to be the most popular. But after someone opts in, what you do is you send them an email autoresponder series. This could, depending on your software, be called a sequence or an autoresponder. But what happens is after someone opts in, a series of emails get sent out on a specific time frame. It might be every other day, once a week, whatever you determine is best for your audience, and you drip that content out to them. But what you're doing is you are showing them that you are an expert, that you have incredible value, you know what they're talking about, and you can solve their problem. So a very simple one that I have shown on the blog post that's linked up in the caption is the person subscribes. You send them 3 autoresponders if you have 3 categories that you help with. You send them an email about each of those categories. You say, here's one problem. Today we're going to talk all about sleep. Here are my top 3 blog posts about how to get you better quality sleep. The first one, and 1 to 2 sentences, is the first blog post where you answer the first common question about sleep. Here we talked about what temperature your room should be at. Here we talked about the top 5 essential oils, and here we talked about what time to go to bed for the best healing or best overall health. And you link up to each of those blog posts. The second email that you send out is your second category with your top 3 common Q&As that are answered in blog posts. You link to those blog posts. The third email is your third category. If you have 4 or 5 categories, you do an extra email for those. But the very last email that you send them is one inviting to check out your paid solution. And you can say something like this. This is exactly what you want to say. Did you like X? You can get X more days of support or X more, help with your problem with my full name of your program or paid solution. Click here to check out the details. If they're already loving your stuff and opening your emails, they're going to be like, oh yeah, what's this girl selling? And you're going to link to the sales page. And that is where, because that sales page has a button on it where people can actually pay for your solution right there. If it's a really high price program, let's say, $1,000 or $2,000, maybe you have a link to book a time with you. But that's what you do. This is how you actually get those emails in your inbox that say, you got money, you got paid. This is how we do it, is with this email autoresponder series after we've shown incredible value. Now, step number 8, and this is how we continue to get these clients on autopilot. So we recycle your blog posts. You worked so hard on these blog posts. We're not only putting them to use with getting new email subscribers with the content upgrades, we're also using them to sell your product by sending it in an autoresponder series. Now you're going to recycle them. So just like I'm doing with this video, I'm going to upload it to Instagram television. I'm going to upload it to YouTube. I'm going to put it on Facebook. I'm going to put it in a blog post, send it to my email newsletter, and make a pin that goes on Pinterest. And I'm going to search engine optimize the blog post so that it shows up in Google searches. This is what we call syndication or reusing your blog posts. And I still get customers from some of my oldest blog posts written 3 to 5 years ago because I'm recycling them. You put so much time and effort into that content. Don't just share it once. Don't just use it once. You're going to use it all over the place. So the thing to remember with this entire process is quality over quantity. If you need to spread out that content creation, absolutely do that. But as your reach on social media grows, more people are going to see the blog posts, more people are going to opt into the email list, get sent the autoresponder series, and see your paid stuff, and you're going to end up with more paying customers on autopilot that you did not have to get on the phone with, that you did not have to have a conversation with, and you're going to wake up to those emails in your inbox saying that you got paid, and it's the best feeling ever. So I'm going to end it here. I didn't want to make this video too long, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.